What's up, everybody? This is a Brownwater Banter podcast. I am Jared Seymour, and I'm sitting here today speaking with Mr. Woody Bailey. He runs an event that you may have heard about, a little event called Cruisin The Coast. Mr. Bailey, how you doing today?
Oh, everything's fine, thanks. Doing good. Just busy. Got a lot going on.
I bet. We're getting to the countdown's ticking, right, before this event starts out for 2019?
It is. You just mentioned, you said a little event. I always refer to it. We got a little car show coming up.
Just a little car show.
Which has grown a good bit, so it's pretty amazing.
Yes, sir. That's right. When I was pulling into the studio here today, the city of Biloxi had the intersection blocked because they're already putting out some of the barricades. So
Good, okay.
I was like, it's definitely getting close.
Right.
One of the, like you said, a little car show that I think a few people may already know about. But in doing some research for our chat here today, I tried to go through the internet and find as many interviews and articles that I could about the event, and they had some really cool stuff out there, some stuff that I wasn't even quite aware of. The story of how the Cruisin the Coast got started, is that something that you could tell us about? I thought
Sure.
that was very interesting.
Yeah, I've been involved since the very beginning of the event, and the whole thing came about. It's not a bunch of car people that got together and say, hey, let's do a car show. That's really not the way. I'm not sure how people perceive Cruisin the Coast or how they look at it, but a lot of business people got together, casino GMs, folks got together brainstorming, what can we do to help the economy of the Gulf Coast after Labor Day? Because all of us that grew up here remember used to be like a faucet would shut off after Labor Day, and the tourism just sort of went away. And it's a great time of the year to be on the Gulf Coast during the fall. So we were trying to find out something that would have an economic impact on the Gulf Coast during the slow time of the year, and kind of jumpstart this fall season. Everybody calls it the shoulder season and all, but so we brainstormed, we talked a lot about different things. One of the general managers of one of the casino properties says, well, look, when I was in Reno, there was a little car show they had there that brought in a lot of people. And that event today, and at that time, was Hot August Nights. That happens in Reno and Sparks. And so we said, okay, we thought about a lot of water events, just a lot of different sorts of things that we thought would work. So we said, well, okay, let's try it. And then we came up with the name Cruisin the Coast, got everything going. This was in 95. Our first year was in 1996, October of 96. And we decided to do it on the taking in Columbus Day weekend in mind. We wanted to have that as a holiday that Monday, which Columbus Day is always on that Monday, and so we wanted to end it on that Sunday beforehand. And we thought at the time that people would stay over that Sunday night, so we'd get an extra night's room. It's a head and bed kind of concept, and trying to, here again, like I say, help the economy. Well, we're still in that format, and that's why Cruisin moves around a little bit, because we end the Sunday before Columbus Day, and so that first year, though, it started off, and we didn't know what to expect. We ended up with 374 cars, and which we didn't know. We didn't know if we'd have a dozen or if we'd have 2,000.
Right. That sounds impressive for the first one. 300 something cars. That's a lot.
Yeah. So we're relatively pleased. We learned a lot over the first few years of Cruisin. Just to give you a contrast, last year we had 8,444 cars registered from 44 states and 3 foreign countries.
Wow.
So from 374 to 8444, that's quite a significant change. So we're in our 23rd year, and like I say, just the growth and everything has been phenomenal. And what's the best part about it? It's doing its job. It's doing what we wanted it to do from the very get-go. I mean, when we wanted to have something that would have an economic impact on our Gulf Coast, like I say, we had our ups and downs over the years until we kind of figured out the formula and figured out what works.
Right.
And it seems to be working. So we're very pleased about that part.
I love watching on the news each year as they announce that you broke the record again for last year's registration, and then they always kind of throw in how many people have already registered for the next year.
Correct.
And that's always impressive. And it seems like each year y'all are growing. Not only in registration numbers, but geographic location too, taking over each city more and more throughout the Gulf Coast. I mean, now you're from How far east are we?
Well, Pascagoula.
Okay, all the way
Pascagoula,
to.
Moss Point events, and we do then to the west. It will be Diamond Head and Bay St. Louis. As far as
Okay.
those are our. We used to say Ocean Springs and Bay St. Louis were our bookends, but now our bookends have kind of extended a little bit. So.
Yeah, definitely. I caught it myself last year, mainly in Ocean Springs, and I still have pictures on my phone of just some of the most amazing cars that you can imagine, and they're all in this one condensed little area. I mean, it's just a great time. And you mentioned as well is that y'all did a really good job of getting this event is usually always in that first good snap of not cold weather, but decent weather coming out of the summer. And I've been looking at the forecast, and it looks like it's going to be decent. It ain't going to be upper 90s kind of temperatures next week, so that always helps out a lot.
Yeah, I think we're going to have maybe a little bit of rain to deal with on potentially Sunday and Monday, but the benefit is going to be a cooler weather, and I know all of us that live here are looking forward to that. So it'll be great for Cruising the Coast. So I think it'll be awesome.
That's right. What's a little bit on your background, like before you started doing this? What you're born from here, correct?
Correct. Yeah,
Yes,
grew up in Gulfport.
Okay.
And we have, and a lot of people. My main business has been in the lumber, building supply, home building, land development. I went to law school, practiced law for a few years, but not only was I loading lumber trucks, so when I was growing up, my dad built the first Holiday Inn here on the coast, and we ended up with 5 Holiday Inn properties. It's down by the Coliseum is that property. So I've been involved in the hospitality industry. Most people associate me primarily with the building supply industry, home building, that sort of thing. But I've got some background in hospitality and tourism. And I think the tourism business is important to the Gulf Coast. It's just another facet that's vital to our economy. And so I enjoy working in tourism-related activities.
Absolutely. I wondered how that kind of connection was there.
Yeah.
So the hotel thing, that makes a lot of sense. You speak about tourism. That's a significant industry here in the Mississippi Gulf Coast for sure. What the economic impact that this event has on there? When is the last time y'all have done a survey just to see how much this brings in revenue-wise?
Yes, we do a study every 5 years, and we'll be doing another one in 21, which will be our 25th year. So we keep an eye on and try to measure as best we can the progress of the event. The economic impact at our last study was for the 3 coast counties is $26.1 million.
Wow.
And then when you include the state overall is $28.6 million. So if people don't think about it, I mean, we want to make sure the coast gets its economic impact, but you add in the state because people travel in from all over the country, as I was mentioning, with the 44 states that were here. So we work with state tourism to do promotions and events. This year we're doing some things at the welcome centers. If somebody pre-registers, and by the way, we had 7,325 people that have pre-registered for Cruising the Coast, and that's 41 states and several Canadians. And that number happens to be 160 ahead of pre-registration numbers that we had last year at this time.
Okay.
August 15th is our pre-registration cutoff. But those people get a confirmation card, and when they come into the state, if they stop by one of the welcome centers that's participating in the event, in their area, they can put their name in a drawing, and they will get a night stay, a dinner, and I think a gift in that particular area, if it's maybe Meridian or South Haven or wherever. And the 2 welcome centers here on the east and west borders here on I-10 are participating this year. So that's a good thing to kind of spread out the impact of cruising. But naturally, we're concerned about the Gulf Coast, but
Right.
if we can help the state out too, that's a good thing too.
Yeah, it's been a tough year. That is good. I didn't think about that the entire state of Mississippi could benefits from it as well.
Right.
But with this past year in particular, with the Bonnie Carey stuff and everything, the beaches being closed, I'm sure that's all had a significant impact on the tourism industry in and of itself. And this is an event that can separate itself from that and still do well this year. So I know that's good. You mentioned earlier about still needing volunteers. Is that something you want to talk about for this year?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cruising the Coast, we have 11 car clubs. When you attend the event, if you see someone in a yellow shirt, they are more than likely a member of one of our 11 car clubs, and they provide us a little over 600 volunteers. And as the event has grown, and like I said, we're in 11 cities now and three coast counties, we are needing more and more help. And so we're reaching out beyond the car clubs and reaching out to the community. If you go to our website, which let me make sure I mention that, is cruisinthecoast.com. You can click on Cruising Crew, Krewe. We've got a little Mardi Gras flair there, so you can look over all the duties and all the things that you can sign up for and volunteer for. And we're not too far away from the event. You can still pull that out online and send it in. But at this point in time, as we're so close that since we're starting this coming Sunday, come to Cruise Central, which is at Centennial Plaza. That's our headquarters, our registration area. Ask for a guy named Craig if you want to help out, and we'll try to line you up with some things to do because we need help. We got a lot going on, and we're trying to build that group of cruising crew to kind of help us with the folks that are already volunteering through their car clubs.
There you go. What inside the event? What's some of your favorite things? I know y'all do like best of show car, stuff like that. Do we have competitions and?
We really don't have any judging. That's one of the things that the car folks that register like about it. I mean, like at the Biloxi Block Party, for example, on Wednesday, they give away Mayor's Choice. The chief of police, John Miller, gives away the car he'd most like to chase. It's lighthearted. And
right.
If there's any judging that goes on to see, like we're a little different than other car shows in the country. A lot of them have judging going on. I know I've gone to other car shows, and a lot of people attend Cruising the Coast. They say, I'm sure looking forward to getting out of this judging thing and coming to Cruising the Coast where I can just relax and have fun.
That does seem more fun.
So anyway, like I say, we don't really have it lined up with judging. There's some things that are judged, but it's not all these cars come together and there's a number one car. It's not that. And by the way, speaking of number one, USA Today voted us the number one car show in the country last year, which we were very proud of that. And we were up against some pretty stiff competition. And so they voted again this year. We came in number 2. If we stay in the top 5 or the top 10, I'm tickled to death about that, because we were up against a lot of big population bases: Los Angeles, Minnesota. People, a lot of places. I said, well, Mississippi, a little car show. Mississippi's not going to have much of a chance against these guys, and we came out number 1. That's pretty cool. And I really think it's our outreach with those 44 states coming here. People from all over the country are coming here, and one of these days, hopefully, all 50 states will be represented at one time here. That would be pretty cool. So to have that kind of award bestowed upon you is pretty flattering, and it's something that everybody should be proud of. And I'll tell you a little secret about that. The car club people are unique in the car show events across the country. Our car clubs, like I say, they more than likely have a classic car. When somebody from Colorado drives their pride and joy down here, they know how that person wants to park. They have an instant connection. It's a good thing. So I hate that we don't have as many people volunteering that know about cars. That's a good thing. We still need volunteers. I'm not saying one way, but that's a unique thing about Cruising the Coast, with these car clubs being so deeply involved in the event itself. So that's a real good thing, and we'll that sets Cruising the Coast apart a little bit. I think it's a little bit of an edge for us.
It's definitely a culture amongst people who have cars like this. And you're right. You can talk. I've asked a couple questions from some of the car owners. That's a 30-minute conversation that they're willing to just go right into. It's like their baby. You know what I mean? But yeah, and that's cool. I didn't know we're number 2, number 1 previously, and then number 2 out of all car shows in America is what you said.
Well,
right?
I think they were. So you got to be nominated first.
Okay.
I think they only nominated 10.
Wow.
So the voting takes place amongst those 10, and like I say, the competition's pretty tough. and for us to be in the top like that is pretty impressive.
I'd like to hope that our Southern hospitality also has something to do with that.
Well,
You give people down here cars, a road, and some beads and a parade, and that's all we need to have a good time in South Mississippi.
And that's the other thing too. The car club folks with that connection, and then, and I want to compliment too all the people that are listening to this podcast, particularly the ones that are from South Mississippi, from our stomping areas up and down the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We and all of us that live here, and all of y'all that I'm speaking to on this podcast, are really the other secret weapons for Cruising the Coast. We treat people right. We roll out the red carpet, our Southern hospitality. If somebody's broken down on the side of the road, we're going to help them. Somebody's going to help them. If somebody wants to know where to find a good shrimp po' boy, somebody's going to tell them, where to go. We just take care of people, and I'm telling you, that's very important, because these folks come here from all over the country. They go back home and tell all their friends how much fun they had, and they bring them back the next year, and that's contributed tremendously to our growth, I think.
I firmly believe that as well.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to mention before we wrap things up here that we haven't covered? Any topics or anything like that?
Well, we got some new events this year. Well, let me just say some new venues. Really, I guess is our newest things. We got our celebrities coming. We got Dennis Gage. It's going to be filming for his show, My Classic Car, so he'll be here this year. A lot of good things going on. Centennial Plaza, brand new development in Gulfport. That's where our Cruise Central, our headquarters, is going to be located. It's going to be neat to have that property up and running. For the last 10 years, it's been nothing going on there, so that's going to be great. In D'Iberville, we're moving from City Hall area over to Scarlet Pearl. That'll be a lot more room.
Yep.
So we're always trying to make things better, but not change too much. It's hard to beat driving up and down Highway 90 and going to all the cities and having fun in all these places. Everybody's just in a great frame of mind, and we want that to happen. And it's like Mother Nature's cooperating this year, so things are looking great for Cruising this year. And I want everybody to come out and enjoy it. And that's, like I say, everybody's just having fun with this event. And I want everybody locally to come out and enjoy it. And we welcome our visitors in from other parts of the country, and it's a great time to showcase our area, because these people come back other times of the year too, because they like it. They buy houses, they buy condos, buy real estate here. Once they come down here and find out how wonderful a place we have, they come back.
That's absolutely correct. Real quick, we'll tell. It starts. What's the dates on the event this year for people that are listening?
Yeah, this starting this Sunday, October the 6th, and we run through the following Sunday, the 13th.
Awesome.
So 8 days of a lot of fun, burnouts, flame throwing, a little bit of everything, whatever you like, autocross, the whole thing.
It really is a good time.
Or just sitting in your favorite lounge chair on Highway 90 and watching the cars go by.
That's right.
The cars are the stars of the show, and we've got them here.
They've got RVs, they got campers set up. People bring in from all over the place. It really is a spectator sport, even if you don't have a car yourself.
Right.
Come check it out. If you've never been, man, you're definitely missing out.
You don't have to have a car. Come enjoy the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
That's right. And you can just kind of, like you say, pick a spot and come start watching, come hang out, come be a part of the event. Mr. Bailey, thank you so much for coming, man. I really do appreciate it.
Well,
and good luck this year. And thank you for the event, because I know me and my family, we've enjoyed it multiple times ourselves.
We'll see y'all out cruising.
All right. That's right. Thanks again.